Coming up.
Bring to the attention of the media platforms the promotion of hatred by so-called influencers have been ever successful in bringing this to an end.
Where there have been prosecutions, I think that has helped.
This guy's garage. Like and subscribe.
I want to talk with Dr. Zine. In our last session this morning, which she may or may not have been able to hear, we heard from the Center for Countering Digital Hate about those who literally profit off the promotion of hatred and in particular Islamophobia. And you mentioned a 250-page report that you did. So I'd like you to say a bit more about whether your findings, whether people were literally profiting in financial terms or more generally profiting in terms of advancing their objectives.
Thank you for that question. And the answer is kind of both, right? There's a lot of people who have become careerist when it comes to Islamophobia, folks that I refer to as Islamophobia influencers who have large platforms, digital platforms on YouTube and other kinds of social media, where they get a lot of traction and are able to purvey their ideas with a great deal of impunity. And that allows them to profit, financially from that. There's been a lot of research done in the United States, and I'd like to see more of that kind of work done in Canada that sort of follows that money trail, because they found in the United States that, as I mentioned, there's about $1.5 billion that flows through various philanthropic organizations through the use of donor-advised funds that gets filtered into about 39 anti-Muslim organizations who 24/7, their mandate is to promote, anti-Muslim conspiracy theories and propaganda. And all of that, as we know, is what is the breeding ground for Islamophobic violence. Those ideas then become part of various echo chambers. They become dog whistles. They get picked up by media, by politicians sometimes. And so it's very insidious and nefarious, the ways in which those echo chambers work, how they filter into public opinion. If you look at public opinion polls in Canada over the last 2 decades, which I did in my report, you will find very problematic statistics that show us that, a lot of Canadians distrust Muslims, or many, I think about a quarter of Canadians, after Donald Trump instituted the Muslim ban in the United States, 24% of Canadians also felt that Canada should do the same. There's a lot of statistics which we put together in the report that looks at what Canadian polls tell us about the public sentiment about the Muslim presence in this country. And so, going back to your question about who profits from this purveyance of anti-Muslim bigotry. Certainly there are political agendas that are advanced because of this. There are independent careers. There are, folks like the Rebel Media and others in Canada that are, regularly putting out content that is promoting anti-Muslim animus. And many of their influencers, even, the white nationalist Tommy Robinson in the UK was funded by the Shulman Foundation in the United States, $5,000 a month, I believe. I could be, I think that's the figure to be an intern at Rebel Media. So we see some of these kinds of flows coming into Canada, but we've not been able to do the kind of forensic accounting to see exactly where that money comes from and is going in the way that they've been able to document it in the United States. But those figures there, I'm sure you'll agree, are quite staggering and a cause of concern. So I was able to see where through some of those organizations, they co-sponsored events with Canadian organizations that are part of the Islamophobia industry. So you see that support coming in through, very tangible ways and through other ways where they amplify each other's work and they create that wider echo chamber for those ideas to flourish and to be part of what was discussed this morning as part of that illusory truth effect. Like if you repeat a lie enough times, people start to perceive it as truth. And in a post-truth world where you really don't need facts anymore, it's just appeals to sentiments and facts become, really casualties of the post-truth context. Those kinds of campaigns are very effective and troubling.
And either in your research or in your personal experience, have you found that attempts to bring to the attention of the media platforms the promotion of hatred by so-called influencers have been ever successful in bringing those to an end?
I think
30
where
seconds.
there have been prosecutions, I think that has helped. I think, to fight back against some of these people who have then been charged with anti-Muslim hate speech or hate crimes and so on. I think that has probably been what's been most effective, rather than the media outlets themselves who are problematic doing anything about changing that. And so that, again, is where the hate speech laws are very important.
Thank you very much.